My story is a typically Scottish one, full of contradictions and unexpected turns. It is a tale of resilience, identity, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Born to immigrant parents, I always felt profoundly Scottish. My parents instilled in me the values of hard work, community, and the importance of standing up for what is right. Scotland was the only home I knew. Its rich history, vibrant culture, and the warmth of its people shaped my identity and my dreams. However, the horrific events of September 11th sparked a profound shift within me. The world seemed to change overnight, and with it my understanding of my place in it. The world suddenly felt different, more dangerous. The sense of security I'd taken for granted was shattered, replaced by a pervasive sense of vulnerability. This awakening propelled me into the tumultuous world of politics. I felt a deep-seated need to be part of the solution, to advocate for peace and justice in a world that seemed increasingly divided. Initially, I joined the anti-Iraq war movement. The invasion of Iraq was a turning point for many, including myself, as it highlighted the disconnect between the will of the people and the actions of those in power. The sight of Scottish soldiers being deployed to a conflict that Scotland vehemently opposed ignited a fire in my belly. It was a stark reminder of the consequences of political decisions on ordinary lives. It was during one of these protests in London that I underwent another transformation. Surrounded by like-minded individuals, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and solidarity. Surrounded by passionate voices demanding Scottish autonomy, I realized the inherent contradiction of Scotland's position. We were a nation with a distinct identity, yet our fate was often decided by others. We were engaged in wars we didn't support, our resources controlled by a government we hadn't elected. This realization fueled my commitment to the cause of Scottish independence. That day, I became a fervent advocate for Scottish independence. I believed that only through self-determination could we truly address the needs and aspirations of our people. My political journey has been marked by both triumph and tribulation. Each victory was hard-won, and each setback only strengthened my resolve. I have witnessed firsthand the power of collective action and the deep-seated inequalities that plague our societies. These experiences have shaped my approach to leadership and governance. I have learned that progress is rarely linear, often achieved through tireless struggle and unwavering commitment to justice. It requires patience, perseverance, and a willingness to listen to all voices. My tenure as First Minister was a testament to the changing face of Scotland. It was a period of significant transformation, reflecting the evolving aspirations of our nation. It was an honor to serve the people who had placed their trust in me, to be a voice for the marginalized and the dispossessed. I sought to create a more inclusive and equitable society. My story, from the streets of Glasgow to the halls of power, reflects the evolving narrative of Scotland itself, a nation forging its own path in an increasingly complex world. It is a journey of hope, resilience, and the unyielding belief in a better future for all. Scotland has a long and proud history of internationalism, a tradition that has shaped our identity and our place in the world. From the early days of trade and exploration to our modern-day contributions, Scotland has always looked beyond its borders. From our contributions to philosophy and literature, where figures like David Hume and Sir Walter Scott have left an indelible mark, to our world-renowned universities that continue to attract students from all corners of the globe, to our humanitarian efforts across the globe, we have always sought to be a force for good in the world. Scottish aid workers and charities have been at the forefront of disaster relief and development projects, embodying our nation's spirit of compassion and solidarity. This deep-seated commitment to social justice is, I believe, what sets Scottish politics apart. Our political landscape is shaped by a desire to create a fairer society, one where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. In contrast to the often callous approach of Westminster, Scottish politics is characterised by a deep sense of compassion and a desire to build a fairer, more equitable world. This is evident in our policies and the way we engage with our communities. We see ourselves as global citizens, interconnected with and responsible for one another. This global perspective is woven into the fabric of our society, influencing everything from education to community initiatives. This is reflected in our policies, from our commitment to international development, where we support projects that aim to improve lives and build sustainable futures, to our welcoming stance towards refugees. Scotland has opened its doors to those in need, providing a safe haven and opportunities for integration and growth. However, our ability to effect real change on the global stage remains limited. Despite our efforts and aspirations, we face significant challenges in amplifying our voice internationally. Without a seat at the UN, our influence is significantly curtailed. This lack of representation means that our perspectives and solutions often go unheard in crucial global discussions. We can and must be a stronger voice for peace, justice, and human rights on the international stage. Our history and values compel us to advocate for these principles more vigorously. We can draw inspiration from countries like Ireland and Norway, nations that have leveraged their positions to become powerful advocates for peace and progressive values. By learning from their experiences, we can find new ways to amplify our impact and contribute to a better world. The ongoing tragedy in Gaza is a stark reminder of the deeply flawed and often hypocritical nature of global politics. The power dynamics at play are not just about territorial disputes or ideological differences, they are about the very essence of human rights and dignity. The images we see coming out of Gaza are nothing short of horrific. Buildings reduced to rubble, families torn apart, and lives shattered in an instant. The sheer scale of human suffering is unlike anything I have ever witnessed, with children and the elderly bearing the brunt of the violence. Even more harrowing than the atrocities I witnessed in Rwanda and Bosnia, the situation in Gaza is a grim testament to our collective failure. What is perhaps most disturbing is the silence and, in some cases, the active complicity of the international community. The global leaders who should be championing human rights are instead turning a blind eye, or worse, enabling the violence through their inaction. The widespread availability of live-streamed footage means that the world can no longer claim ignorance. We see the bombings, the bloodshed, and the cries for help in real time. We are all witnesses to the brutal reality of this conflict, and yet the response has been woefully inadequate. The international community's failure to act decisively is not just a political misstep, it is a moral failing of the highest order. The UK government, in particular, has much to answer for. Their policies and actions have directly contributed to the ongoing crisis. How can we, in good conscience, continue to sell arms to a government whose leader is currently subject to an ICC arrest warrant? This is not just a question of legality, but of morality. The double standard is as clear as it is appalling. We preach human rights and democracy, yet our actions often betray these very principles. I have no doubt that if 45,000 blue-eyed, blonde-haired Europeans were being slaughtered, the world would have acted decisively to secure a ceasefire. The inaction speaks volumes about the deeply ingrained racism that continues to permeate our foreign policy. It is a stark reminder that not all lives are valued equally on the global stage. The long-term consequences of this hypocrisy will be devastating, further eroding trust in the international order and fueling the flames of extremism. If we do not address these double standards and take meaningful action, we risk plunging the world into even greater instability and conflict. The time for action is now. We must hold our leaders accountable, demand justice, and work towards a world where every life is valued equally. In today's world, democracy and tolerance face unprecedented challenges. Extremist ideologies, misinformation, and polarizing rhetoric threaten the very foundations of our societies. It's more important than ever to understand these threats and work collectively to safeguard our democratic values and promote a culture of tolerance. By staying informed and engaged, we can help ensure a future where democracy and tolerance thrive. In the delicate balance of global politics, we often find ourselves teetering on the edge. It's a constant struggle between maintaining order and descending into chaos. The decisions made by leaders today can tip the scales in either direction. As we navigate through these turbulent times, understanding the forces at play becomes crucial. In the realm of international relations, some leaders adopt a dealmaker's approach. They view diplomacy as a series of transactions, each one a step towards achieving a larger goal. This method can yield significant results, but it also comes with risks. The art of the deal requires not just skill, but also a deep understanding of the global landscape. Today we face a crisis of trust in traditional politics. Citizens around the world are increasingly skeptical of their leaders and institutions. This erosion of trust can lead to instability and unrest. To rebuild confidence, it is essential for political systems to adapt and evolve, addressing the concerns and aspirations of the people they serve. Despite the challenges we face, there is always room for hope. In an uncertain world, engagement and active participation can make a difference. By coming together and working towards common goals, we can build a better future. It's a call to action for everyone to play their part in shaping the world we want to live in.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.